What's up, everybody? Welcome to some Gonti Grand Larceny. Hope you're ready to steal some stuff. I am. We're going to play first. Let's get this chat all closed out. See who we're playing against. Grand Arbiter, Fart Monster. Okay, man. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, it's not too bad. We've got Hero's Downfall, Voyager Staff, Toxic Deluge, and Animate Dead. Yeah, we're going to keep on this one. Not too shabby. Let's get Gonti all squared back up. Get this all. I always hate it when the graveyard's not leveled up. There we go. I know if I didn't level it up, it would bother me if I watched these videos. Let's go and get the swamp down. Let's get down the Voyager Staff, and let's go ahead and pass the turn. So we're playing Gonti, Lord of Luxury. As that touch, whenever you enter the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of target opponent's library. We get to exile one of those face down. Then we may spend our manas or any color to cast that card. Playing against Grand Arbiter, Fart Monster. White spells cost 1 less, blue spells cost 1 less, and spells we cast cost 1 more. So pretty straightforward. Nice little blue-white control deck. I do enjoy playing against Grand Arbiter. It usually makes for a nice, interesting match of Commander, so always enjoy that. But yes, yeah, welcome to Gonti, man. I know I recorded Gonti last week during the 4-player video, multiplayer video, but I wanted to kind of run them back through the. I hadn't put out like a 1 versus 1 video of Gonti in a little while, so nothing for 2. Let's go ahead and pass the turn. We have Animate Dead, so we can't get into spots where if something happens to Gonti, we can let it go to the graveyard and then reanimate it to bring it back, and then Voyager Staff, exile target creature, and then we get to return at the beginning of the next end step. So we can definitely have that online to kind of exile Gonti and get a few little blink effects. So we'll see what our opponents got cooking in the kitchen. But yes, feels good to. I recorded an earlier video with Gonti against Narset. Man, that was a pretty gnarly match, and I think I'm going to go ahead and post it up because it was like it was a little bit of a B-side style video where I didn't really have a lot of action, but the commentary is pretty fun. So I think I'll probably post it up with this video too. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, our opponent gets down a Crucible of the Worlds, Army of the Damned. Let's go and get the swamp down. We've got Sculpting Steel, but you know, if our opponent gets a Mana Rock out there, we'll probably go for it. But I think right now we're just going to hold on to it. Hopefully, we hit our 4th land drop, then we'll be able to get down Gonti, kind of steal some stuff. So, then on a side note, if you want to shop at Gonti's resale shop, head over to MTGOTraders.com. That's where we have all of these spells available for sale that we steal with Gonti. So head over there, it supports him. And if you don't know, I'm making videos for the official MTGOTraders YouTube channel now. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. There's a link down in the description below, and then you can hit the subscribe. I'm getting out around 10 to 12 Commander or Modern videos a month. So hit the subscribe button and you'll get notifications on when they go live. I have a nice little Revolt Zoo deck up, so if that's something you want to check out, head on over there. Okay, so we've got Gonti swinging in. We're going to exile the top 4 of our opponent's library. Let's see what we get his little fingers into. Okay, we've got Ojutai's Command, Counterspell, Plains and Island. Return target creature card for converted mana cost 2 or less. That's not Gonti. Draw a. I like leaving Counterspell up. I like grabbing that. We can go for a Counterspell on Grand Arbiter. There's no better feeling than, honestly. Oh, it's one. You know, you always want to bust something pretty crazy with Gonti. You want to have fun. You want to go wild. You want to put cruise control on 100 with Gonti. But there's something to be said about snagging a Counterspell. One of my favorite Gonti to. Ooh, Path to Exile. Yeah, we'll take that. Let's go ahead and grab another Swamp, and then we may copy that Mind Stone next turn. We'll kind of see what's going on, because that'll put us back into a range where we can get up Gonti for sure. But it will be nice having that Counterspell. So if they get another Mana Rock out there, that'd be better for Sculpting Steel. But I think at this point, Mind Stone would be good, unless we draw into one of our other artifacts. I'm just not really feeling Voyager Staff. Could go for it, but I'd like to get into spots where we can get down Army of the Damned. That'd be pretty good. Actually, excuse me one sec. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I've been recording on and off all day, so my voice gets a little tired, so I have to take a drink of tea. But yeah, feels good to get back in the Gonti driver's seat, man. I missed him. I think it's been like 2 weeks. I'm trying to think anything else. Oh yeah, I've got Revolt Zoo up on the MTGOTraders. If you missed it, I did a Obsidian Ghost Council deck for MTGOTraders. And I also did, we got down Glow, non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. Okay. And then I also got out a, who was it? Olivia. I did a budget version of my Olivia deck, so if that's something you didn't see, go for it. Go check it out. Okay, so we have Mutilate. It's going to cost 1 more. We can take care of the Glow Rider right now. If they somehow... They got the Flooded Plains down, so they're looking to get into spots where they get down Grand Arbiter. Or we do have Hero's Downfall on the Glow Rider if that's something we're going to go for. Either way, if we leave up Mutilate, we might be able to catch something on in the later turn. And we also still have Toxic Deluge. So if we go Sculpting Steel, we're not going to be able to cast that Counterspell. Yeah, let's go ahead and go Sculpting Steel on the Mind Stone. I actually do like that. We're going to miss out on Counterspell, but I want to get a little ahead on mana, especially if we can get these taxing effects out there. And then we can get into spots where we're going to have enough mana for Toxic Deluge. And then, well, actually we can't because the non-creature spell is going to cost 1 more to cast, but I was thinking we could hold up Counterspell, but we can get in a spot next turn to where we can fire off a Toxic Deluge, even for 5 mana if they get down Grand Arbiter, making our spells cost 2 more, and then we can kind of take care of 2 birds and 1 stone. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I've got some exciting decks coming up for the MTGO. I've got some the Thopter Foundry combo in Modern, Thopter Foundry Weir, the Weir of Invention. I've got a deck coming out pretty soon. It's been a lot of fun to play, man. So you have the Thopter Foundry combo, Thopter Foundry, and then Sword of the Meek. So basically every mana that you have, you can sacrifice Sword of the Meek. It hits the graveyard. You get a Thopter, you gain a life, and then it comes back. So if you have 5 mana that turn, you can pay 5 mana, get 5 Thopters, gain 5 life. So it's a pretty fun deck to play. But with Weir of Invention, it kind of turns it into a instant speed combo win for the deck. You can search up Ironworks once you have at least 4 manas that you can tap and get down the Ironworks. Sack a Thopter, that's going to generate 2 colorless mana, and then you can basically just kind of rinse and repeat until you just generate infinite mana. So you go infinite life, and then there's also Alter the Brood in there. So whenever you're getting those, basically the Sword and the Thopter come in, they're going to mill 2 cards, so you can kind of basically just kind of mill their library out. Pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. Let's go ahead and go for a Toxic Deluge. Looking at 1. And we're going to go ahead and pay, we're looking at 3, yeah, we're going to go ahead and pay 3 life on this one. Hopefully it's going to take care of the Glow Rider and the Grand Arbiter. We are looking at 5 cards in hand with 3 mana up, and their spells do, white and blue spells do cost 1 less to cast. We did grab their Ojutai's Command, so we don't have to worry about that one. But worst comes to worst, we can try and go for another Gonti next turn. But if they're thinking right now, hopefully this sticks. We'll be able to take care of both of them. They could recast again. Oh, beautiful. I will take that. And now that leaves Counterspell up if they want to go for the Grand Arbiter. We can counter it and then go for another Gonti and kind of re-rack from there. Actually, excuse me 1 sec. Okay, so Grand Arbiter went back to the command zone. They're looking at 6 mana to cast it. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with the Mind Stone. So if they do go for Grand Arbiter right now, we can go and counter it with the Counterspell because there's no taxing effects out there. But yeah, Gonti, man. Yeah, it feels good to be back in the driver's seat. He's truly, I probably have to put him at my my favorite commander to record with. Like I always basically, if you're not familiar, I always release Gonti on Friday because it makes it feel a little bit extra, like a little bit more special to me or something like that. And it's just a fun deck to play, man. I think what makes it so fun is that it's just an extension of your opponent's deck. Like we have a Counterspell we're holding up with 2 mana to kind of, hopefully if they're going to go for their commander, we can counter it. And let's see how much, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're actually 1 away from Army of the Damned. So we could, if we do draw that next swamp, we could go for Army of the Damned, get a nice little zombie board state up and running, and then kind of go from there. So definitely an option if we hit that. Army of the Damned is just, I'm so glad I put it in here. I was just like, we have so many mana rocks in here. Cabal Coffers. Man, I'm telling you. I'll cover that in a sec. Okay, so we got Elspeth coming down. Create a 1/1 white soldier token, +1. I think are we okay with Elspeth? If we're looking at Army of the Damned coming in next turn, and we still have Hero's Downfall we can cast and destroy Elspeth. They're going to get that soldier token. Yeah, since we have Hero's Downfall, I'm okay with that. And we've gotten in a spot to where if they get any more taxing effects out there, we can go for Mutilate and kind of clear the board up. So we may end up holding up the Counterspell for their commander, then going for Hero's Downfall on their turn. Kind of see what we draw, though. Draw Yahini. Okay, so when we get down to Yahini, we're looking at 1, 2, 3. That's going to leave up, we got 6 mana. We're looking at holding up 4 for Counterspell. If we go Yahini swinging in at Elspeth. But we still have Hero's Downfall. Let's go ahead and pass the turn. Let's see if they go for it next turn. We can leave up Hero's Downfall, maybe draw out a Counterspell on Elspeth, and then leave it to where if they go for Grand Arbiter, we can counter Grand Arbiter and kind of re-rack from there. I'm not too worried about that soldier token getting that extra damage, so I think we'll be okay on this one. But yeah, it's just fun just stealing stuff from your opponent. That's always fun. Just kind of like, and then also having, what is it? Worst fears? That, oh man, I love playing in this Gonti deck. I almost, in one of my videos, almost got to take control of an opponent's Johnny that was getting really close to an ultimate, and they took care of one of my mana rocks that kept me out of that range. So that was kind of a bummer, but that was a pretty fun little interaction. Okay. Oh, and then talk about Monkhead spoilers. So they spoiled the new Liliana today. Pretty sweet. We'll go back to the game in a second, but +1 create a zombie, -3 reanimate target creature, and then -7 destroy all non-zombie creatures. I don't know as far as modern goes, but Commander, can't wait to get it. Okay, Treasure Cruise, draw 3 cards. Is that something we want to counter? Let's go ahead and go for Hero's Downfall on Elspeth. We're looking at 1. And I think at this point, with 3 cards in hand, they didn't counter anything. We might go for countering this Treasure Cruise, because then at that point we're going to be able to play around like a 6-mana Grand Arbiter. I mean 5 mana with the Pearl Medallion out there, but we can play around that because we do have Mutilate and Army of the Damned. Just didn't want to, man. Okay, so we're looking at Treasure Cruise. Let's go and go for Counterspell on the Treasure Cruise. Counter that spell. What's up, dude? He's finding our play funny. Okay, Aura of Silence, sure. They're going to be able to take care of Mind Stone if they want to. But we also have Voyager Staff up. And then we can get down Gonti and kind of re-rack from there. Okay, we're swinging in with the Soldier Token, drops down to 24. And let's see what we get into. If we hit that land drop, we will be able to get down Army of the Damned. Hedonist Trove, looking at 7 mana. We can go for that. Exile all cards from target opponent. We're not going to be able to cast it, though. And there's no lands in the graveyard. Let's go ahead and go for Gonti right now. Looking at 1. Gonti's going to come in. We're going to get another little exile off the top. See what they have. Dig Through Time, Soul Ring, and Mana Crypt. Do we want Mana Crypt? That will definitely propel us into the... we can get it down and then just use it before they have a chance to activate Aura of Silence, and then that'll get us a nice little Army of the Damned up and running. I think I like that. Yeah, let's go and go Mana Crypt. That way we can just pop it down next turn and not worry about them cracking it already. And then we're just going to go ahead and leave Gonti up. Now, we do have Animate Dead, but there's no creature cards in the graveyard. And then if they go for Grand Arbiter, yeah, that will. We're looking at... We've got 6 mana, 8, and then we're going to have 9, 10 with the Mana Crypt coming down. So we should have enough to get an Army of the Damned if they do go for Grand Arbiter, and then kind of get that up and running. But I just love that it has Flashback of 10. Like, it's just so, just like, you knock out the first wave of zombies, and they just keep coming. Ooh, we got Jace the Mind Sculptor coming in. Okay. See what to go for, either the Brainstorm. Okay, going for the Brainstorm option. I think we're still going to go ahead and go for Army of the Damned. That way we can take care of... That's going to be more than enough bodies to take care of Jace. We can still swing in with Gonti. We do have Yahini, so we could get into a spot to where we can go Yahini. Can't go Mutilate because that'll take care of Yahini, but if we draw some sort of removal spell, we could take care of the Soldier Token, get a little extra counter on Yahini, and then swing in and take care of Jace. What we can do, yeah, we can go ahead and cast it at least if we don't hit the land for Army of the Damned. We still have Mana Crypt, though. We'll see how it shakes down. Okay. Soldier is not swinging in. Swiftfoot Boots. So if we get down Swiftfoot Boots, we're going to be able to protect Gonti. And if we go our Mana Crypt right now, they've got 2 cards in hand. Let's go and swing in at Jace. Make them block on the Soldier Token. And that'll be 2 coming across. If they more than likely they'll block. Okay, we got the block on the Soldier Token, and then we're going to get the Mana Crypt down the second main phase and go for that Army of the Damned. Let's go get that down. Oh, excuse me, they cost 2 more from the Aura of Silence. Forgot about that. I was just thinking about the activated ability. Okay, so we're still looking at 7 mana. Let's go ahead and go for... Because we go for Mana Crypt, they're just going to activate it and destroy it. Let's go and go for Swiftfoot Boots. And then if they want to activate it on Aura of Silence, that'll put us in a spot where we can get down Mana Crypt, and then we can just go and put it on Gonti. That way, yeah, they may kind of crack it, and then we'll have Gonti protected. And then we still have Voyager Staff to exile it and kind of grab something at the end of their turn, too, with that Swiftfoot Boots. So I think I like that. And especially if they activate Aura of Silence on the Voyager Staff, we can activate it and make sure that Gonti goes to the exile zone. Let's go and click on him after that. Make sure, because we do not want to exile him and then not get him. And then we can bring it back at the beginning of the next end step. So, okay. So got the draw for the turn. And we're going to click on Gonti, exile him. That way he's going to come back and we can still swing in at Jace, especially if they're just going for the, well, they can only go for the Brainstorm ability. And then if they crack the Aura of Silence, so be it. And then, but yeah, we have to watch it. Yeah, that's basically. I kind of forgot about the Mana Crypt costing 2 more when I was talking about grabbing Mana Crypt and going for Army of the Damned. So we'll kind of see what shakes down this turn. But yeah, that Narset video I recorded early. Oh man, that was a gnarly Narset. It I don't know. It was just destroy all creatures. Let's go ahead and go for Voyager Staff in response. Make sure Gonti's going to go to the exile zone. Let's double check that. Exile target creature. We're going to click on it, make sure it goes to the, where is it? Exile. Okay. Activate Voyager Staff, choosing Gonti. That way Gonti's going to come back in. It's going to happen at the end step, so we're going to get around the Day of Judgment coming in to destroy all creatures. If they have a, I don't know what they could do. It has hexproof and it's an activated ability, so they'd almost need like a stifle or something like that to stop it. Okay. Day of Judgment gets fired off. Destroys 0 creatures, then we still have Gonti coming in, and then we can bring it back in and still put the Swiftfoot boots on there. Okay, Day of Judgment resolves. And there is Flooded playing down. I'm still thinking if we want to go for Hedonist Trove, because we just don't have access to that blue mana. If we do draw into a Chromatic Lantern, then we can get in the spot to where we can have Counterspell, Treasure Cruise, Elspeth, and that would be pretty good. Yeah, that's why some people are saying, man, why do you have a Chromatic Lantern in there? It's, hey, 100% so you can live the dream with Hedonist Trove, man. That's some good magic. And we may end up forcing them, we may end up casting Mana Crypt to force them to maybe use that Aura of Silence. So, okay, Gonti's going to get a fresh dip at the top. Let's see what we got. Gilded Lotus, Mana Vault, and the Signet. Let's go ahead and go for Mana Vault. We can cast it on the cheap and we get both of them down. And they get into spots where they're almost going to have to crack it on one of them and draw another swamp. Alright, so we're looking at 7-8. We finally have enough mana for the Army of the Damned. Let's go and swing in at Jace, see if we can't force some sort of action on our opponent. And then we can go for the Army of the Damned, kind of get them to do a little bit of cleanup duty. Okay, drops Jace down to 1. Let's go and go for the Army of the Damned. Going to get those 13/13 zombies. If it resolves, they have 3 cards in hand. They may have a counter spell, but I feel pretty good if we do end up going. We do have to watch out for a Cyclonic Rift, though. Okay, we don't have enough mana from the Aura of Silence to cast the Mana Crypt or the Mana Vault, but they did fire that Day of Judgment off, and hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of it. We're looking at 13, so we're looking at 26 points of damage between the zombies swinging across, so they're almost going to have an answer this turn, especially if they do go for Grand Arbiters, which is not really going to do much, so definitely kind of re-rack from there. And if our opponent does kind of get into this spot to where they have a Wasteland out of the graveyard with Crucible of the Worlds, we can go for Hedonist Trove and kind of exile that Wasteland before they just completely take advantage of us destroying the lands. Okay, so Jace is getting fired off. See if they do find an answer in those top 3 cards. Excuse me one sec. Okay, and then as far as next turn goes, you know, basically we're just kind of watching out for a Cyclonic Rift right at this point. We do have Yahini to get down to be a little bit of an extra haste option swinging in. But if they don't have any sort of answer now that they've drawn, then we can kind of rally from there. And hopefully, if they do have some sort of like Cyclonic Rift or another board wipe, we can just deploy the Mana Crypt and the Mana Vaults and then try and go for a Army of the Damned flashback and kind of re-rack on that. Okay, see, they're tapping for some mana. And they are tapping the Ancient Tomb, so there must be something to deal with this. Another thing that they could have would be Cryptic Command. Okay, we got Muldrifter. If they're going Muldrifter right now to draw 2 cards, I feel pretty good about this. I like that. If they're spending that mana just to cast Muldrifter as another blocker. Thalia, okay. And that's 2 bodies on 2 of the zombies, so that's still going to leave 11 coming across, which is 22. They can bounce one of the creatures with Jace on the... No, they already activated Jace, so they can't bounce any other creatures. And then we can also get into a spot where we just get down to Yahini and we'll be able to kind of swing in. Let's see what they're going for, though. But I will take this. It's always this is why I really enjoy playing against Grand Arbiter, just because it usually makes for a pretty tight, close little match, and it makes for a longer video, win or lose. So I always like to get you a longer video. And see what they're casting now. Okay, it looks like they've got 6 mana between 3 plains, 3 islands. They tap the Mind Stone, and then they have the Pearl Medallion, which is going to make white spells cost 1 less. So potentially they have 7 mana. Okay, Phyrexian Metamorph. See what it's going for. Mulldrifter, drawing 2 more cards. Okay. I feel pretty good about that. That still puts them in about the 4 mana range, but they're out of Cryptic Command range now, so we don't have to worry about them tapping all of our creatures. But yeah. Oh, I never finished my Gonti story. So one time I exiled a mana drain. I think I was playing against Teferi, and I exiled my opponent's mana drain, and that was probably my favorite Gonti trigger that I've ever cast because I had left 2 mana up, and it was like kind of late. It was like turn 9, turn 10, and they cast a really big spell, and then I fired that mana drain off, and and got it, man, and it felt real good to counter that spell. Okay, we have Doomblade. We're at 14. They've got potentially 4 mana up. Is there anything we want to do? Like go for Yahini? I guess let's just go ahead and swing in. I'm not really sure what we're trying to play around, but let's go ahead and swing in. Whole team coming in hot up top. That's just going to leave 3 blockers, and then we're going to have enough mana to close it. We're going to have enough zombies to kind of close it out. Okay, see what they're tapping for. And then if Gonti gets destroyed, actually, make sure we click on it real quick, because I think we have the exile zone set up, so we can get it back into the... Okay, going to our block step. See how they want to declare block. I'm kind of confused as to what they are going to have. I'm intrigued. Let me say that. Okay, so we got Thalia on one of the zombies, 2 Mulldrifters on 2 of the other zombies. And that was first strike damage. Okay, we close it out. I will take that. Army of the Damned, putting in some work, man. I love that card. Flashback's pretty cool too, flavor-wise. Yeah, one of my favorite cards. But yes, it's always good to get a nice little close Gonti win like that. So, all right, guys, if you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Thanks.